Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest Nola Nerd Podcast movie review. We are joined by esteemed Nola Nerd guest star Scott, the looks Brehm.
No?
I think you're actually a host now.
No, not for these videos yet.
Oh, that's right.
This is his first movie review because he's a big
assignment.
Boy. He is. We got him on the streets.
Getting hard-hitting news.
Yeah.
Reading the pulse of America.
Scott,
this
what's
movie
good?
Taking surveys and shit.
What's good, Scott?
What's good? What movie are we discussing today?
Ted.
Seth
Amazing
MacFarlane's
reviews.
Ted.
Yes. Beat Magic Mike. That's all I care about.
His first live-action film.
Yes.
And in case you were wondering, yes, it is a coherent plot.
Very few cutaways.
It's a touching story.
It's shockingly
Seth MacFarlane did his best to resist his urge to do a cutaway every 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Both to our surprise and chagrin, no Conway Twitty. Not even a little bit.
No, but we got tons of Flash Gordon.
Lots of Flash Gordon. If you're a fan of Flash Gordon, you're going to lose your shit during this movie.
The guy sitting next to me was a huge Flash Gordon fan, and he lost his mind.
All right, well, let's start from the top. Ted, Mark Wahlberg, Seth MacFarlane, Mila Kunis looking hot.
Yeah, basically this was his comfort zone. Everyone that has even like a working job on either Family Guy or American Dad has a part in this.
Mark Wahlberg.
Not just Mark Wahlberg, but Patrick Stewart did the narration.
He wasn't in Family Guy.
Will you let me finish my fucking point?
No.
Mark Wahlberg, fuck you. Patrick Stewart, Mila Kunis, Alex Borstein, Patrick Warburton, Walter Murphy did the music. He does the music on Family Guy. Yeah. This was definitely in his comfort zone.
It was.
Yeah. Seth MacFarlane's from Boston, so is Mark Wahlberg, so that's why they...
Yeah, whatever. I don't even care what you have to say now.
Okay. I really was just hoping for one instance of Shut Up Meg. Just in some form. But
it wasn't going to happen.
I know. I mean, it's foolish to go into a full-length movie and expect Family Guy references.
Just one.
They did one.
Just one. We're not going to, it was a funny one, but it's just one. I enjoyed it. Just flat out from the bat. It was a funny movie. One of the few comedies nowadays where the previews don't spoil it all.
No,
they didn't.
And it was very interesting because this movie was also really touching.
Yeah,
and there wasn't like the conflict wasn't like so cut and dry.
Right. And
there wasn't like Mila Kunis could have been a shrieking heartbeat.
Exactly.
And she wasn't.
You could have done the standard choose between your girlfriend and your best friend, but then they choose the best friend because the girlfriend, and you find out over the course of the movie that she's actually a controlling, uptight bitch.
I think we saw that in The Hangover.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't get that in this movie.
No. Yeah. She's a real person. And
with
Mark Wahlberg's a real person.
With real complaints about it. Like you can see her side of the story and not think that she's being ridiculous about it.
And you can also see Mark Wahlberg's side of the story.
Exactly. And you can even see Ted's side of the story, which is weird.
I normally don't like Mark Wahlberg, but he was really good in this.
I've actually liked him ever since Four Brothers.
He was good in that one. But Max Payne kind of ruined it for me.
Fair enough.
Max Payne ruined everything.
Yeah.
I think Mila Kunis was in Max Payne also.
She was.
One
thing I was very pleasantly surprised about this movie, if you've seen any recent seasons of Family Guy, you know Seth MacFarlane's had a tendency to become insanely preachy in his stuff.
He wasn't on his soapbox.
No.
He was not on his soapbox.
I think Family Guy's his soapbox for, all his issues that he loves to talk about.
And this movie...
It's just a movie.
I'm happy to report that it's just him making a feature-length movie. I mean... A lot of people had complaints, fears, I guess, and none of them came to pass.
Let's also be clear that if you're not a Seth MacFarlane fan, this movie may not work for you.
That is true.
Because it's definitely got the Seth MacFarlane.
You have to like Family Guy.
Because he does everything it's Family Guy, Talking Dog, American Dad, Talking Alien. It's just...
I mean, all the beats are there. It's just not.
Fish.
It's not taken to the nth degree.
Exactly. I mean, so if you like his movie, which apparently his humor is still extremely popular, given the fact that it was sold out at every theater we tried to go to twice, and became movie of
number one
in the box office. So apparently he still has some cachet with fans, no matter how many people try and go online and preach that Family Guy's stupid.
Although this was the frattiest.
There's so many bros.
I have not seen so many bros at a movie theater premiere at a midnight movie since Hangover 2.
Oh,
remember that?
That was a disaster.
Oh, anyway,
I'm glad I wasn't there for that.
Yes.
Let's how funny do you think this movie was?
Really funny.
I mean, it's hard to review comedies. Did it make you laugh? Yeah, it made me laugh.
It made me laugh a lot, and it also is not disposable. the way some other comedies are, where they make you laugh, but you can't remember it after a week.
It also doesn't rely too heavily on pop culture references. Like,
That's
what I was going to say.
But you can watch it in a couple years, and I don't think the jokes would be dated. You know what I mean?
I was about to.
I think the only dated thing was the thing with Carson, because I don't think a lot of new people remember who Carson is.
Carson, yeah,
Johnny Carson, yeah,
and maybe the Flash Gordon stuff. But they do a good job of letting you know that what Flash Gordon was for people that had no idea what Flash Gordon was. Like, they make a point to say, like, that was their favorite TV show growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
He was their hero as kids. And I guess we should give you a brief synopsis of the plot. Mark Wahlberg's character, was not a very popular kid growing up. He had no friends. He gets a teddy bear for Christmas, makes a Christmas wish that the teddy bear comes to life, and is one of the greatest jokes by the narrator. What's his name?
Patrick Stewart.
I blanked on that.
Wow.
Patrick Stewart is like, nothing is more powerful than a little boy's wish, except an Apache helicopter with missiles and chain guns. That is a very impressive piece of hardware.
That was pretty funny.
I like that part.
Patrick Stewart did the narration, and it was hilarious.
It was.
They gave it a weird sense of gravitas until he started talking about how powerful the Apache helicopter is.
So the bear comes to life, and that's normally where the story would be, the little boy and his bear. Yeah. But it takes the natural progression where the boy grows up, and the teddy bear grows up with him.
I like that. The teddy bear doesn't stay...
An innocent little teddy bear. The teddy bear grew up with him and became a 35-year-old trapped in a teddy bear's body, basically.
And smokes pot and drinks.
And lives the life of a former child TV star, basically.
He was popular because everyone saw a talking bear.
And then, just as anything else in this world, novelty faded away and he became obscure. And this is basically his life as a 35-year-old with really nothing to his name. Except his best friend.
Yeah. Can we talk about how creepy Giovanni Ribisi is?
Oh my god, his character was so creepy.
And his fucking creepy kid.
The subplot in this movie is there was another boy who grew up loving Ted and his son, and he really wanted Ted for himself, so it's his constant attempts to either buy or persuade Ted to come live with him. And he pulled out his best creepy Italian pedophile.
He always does that.
He's really good at that.
It's scary.
Even when he was on Friends.
Yeah,
that's pretty much his character.
Stevie's brother.
Yeah,
it was. Oh, I don't know. If you had to be typecast, that's a poor thing to be typecast as. You're gonna be the creepy pencil mustache.
Hey, there's always a career for that.
guy.
Look at John Waters.
That is true.
It's true. John Waters is awesome.
But yeah, so that is essentially the plot, and it involves the Mila Kunis's character wanting Mark Wahlberg to grow up while still trying to respect the fact that his best friend is literally a teddy bear.
Is there anything we didn't like about this?
I mean, like most comedies, the front half was filled with the jokes, and then it had to go into plot progression. So I thought the middle part and the end kind of sideswiped the comedy for drama, which made it still enjoyable and a very touching movie, but the second half of the movie, comedically, was not up there at all.
No.
That's what I liked about it, though.
Well, like I said...
I forgot what I was going to say.
But you put it up against the other classic comedies of this generation, you have to keep going back to The Hangover for being an R-rated comedy.
Yeah.
The Hangover had a nice pacing of jokes. The jokes... There was some slow parts in the middle, but there was still funny parts throughout the whole movie. Ted switched from full-on bro comedy to more of a drama at points, and the jokes were more sparsely placed, I guess.
It seems like he was writing a comedy, and it was going to be a whole comedy movie, then someone was like, well, let's do something serious, and so we just put it in for the half of it. That's what it seems like.
Don't get us wrong, though. The drama was incredibly compelling, and
I'm surprised
it's not going to be. Yeah, that's impressive. I mean, making
Madison County,
making a CG teddy bear, trying to care about a CG teddy bear is kind of a laughable concept. But you started feeling for the characters. Yeah. The only problem I really had with this was Mark Wahlberg's awful Boston accent.
That was his actual accent.
I think that's a great Boston accent. It's just horrible to your ears.
Yeah. That
was his actual accent.
I guess that's what I mean. It actually gave me flashbacks to That's My Boy by Adam Sandler, who his entire movie was done in that awful accent too.
I never seen it. So.
I mean, it's just I mean, it's not bad. It just grates on me. It's just, come on, just talk. Come on, man. I know you're from Boston. I know that's what you're going for, the authentic feel. But
that's what they sound like.
Yeah, that's why they're crazy pants.
Oh, well. Anyway.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I don't really have any major complaints.
The animation for Ted was incredible. I mean, there wasn't very many special effects except for the bear, but they made it feel very...
he was stop motioned by Seth MacFarlane.
Was he?
Yeah. Motion capture.
The fight scene between him and Mark Wahlberg was great.
That was the best fight scene.
If you're a fan of Family Guy's Chicken and Peter fights, you know what to expect.
I was thinking of more of when the whole family fought each other.
Yeah. Or the Brian Stewie fight, like, oh, you owe me money. Where's my money? That type of fight. Basically, it's a Family Guy fight scene. Over the top and ridiculous, but hilarious at the same time.
It seemed like this is what will happen if Stewie grew up and Brian.
Yeah.
This is what it seemed like.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
Except Mark Wahlberg's not gay and creepy.
So what do you give it?
Sure.
I don't know. An 8. This is a movie I would probably buy. I'm not entirely sold on buying it right when it comes out, but this is a buy.
I give it 8.5. It's a purchase. Like you said, jokes aren't dated that much.
This is a movie you can watch 5 years down the line and still get it.
Yeah.
But it has to be said, like, I couldn't bring this home. Like, my dad loved The Hangover. I couldn't bring this movie for him to see because he just doesn't like Family Guy. He doesn't enjoy that brand of humor.
I think that's kind of the problem, is that if you don't like Family Guy, this movie's never going to work.
He's a very polarizing type of humor.
But if you're either indifferent to Family Guy or you like Family Guy, this movie's pretty solid. I'm gonna give it an 8 also. It is not a day one purchase for me, but it is something that I would like to pick up when it comes out.
Eventually.
Yeah.
And this movie's made me hopeful for if Seth MacFarlane ever stops making his animated shows and switches full on to doing full feature-length movies, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
If this is his first foray into it, that's impressive.
Very solid.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see. There's a great college humor skit where it has Seth MacFarlane going through failed ideas for his movie, like pairing up a different comedian with a different animated inanimate object, and it was just a great one. If you go see it, we had some chuckles at it. But yeah, so final thoughts?
Good movie. Can't wait for Seth MacFarlane's next movie. So.
Good movie if you like Family Guy. If not, you should probably stay away.
That's really the caveat. Do you like Family Guy? Yeah? Go see this movie. No? This movie's not going to sell you on his brand of humor.
Nope.
But, you know. Oh, one last thing. Greatest cameo by a famous celebrity. I'm not going to tell you who. When you see it, it involves one of the funniest parts of the movie.
And no words
Doesn't say a word. Doesn't say a word. All visual gag. And it's great.
It is.
So, there's that.
If you watch Family Guy, you should know who it is.
Ah, good times. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I just remembered that.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
I'm Scott.
And we're the Nola Nerds, and this has been our movie review of Ted. Did you just whip?
I did.